The final score said the Philadelphia Eagles lost 23-19. But the ending of Sunday night's wildcard game at Lincoln Financial Field told a more nuanced story about leadership, emotion, and character in the NFL. When the noise faded, the season ended, and the weight of disappointment settled in, Nick Sirianni revealed something about himself that often gets lost amid sideline theatrics and viral moments. For most of the game, Sirianni was exactly the version of himself the public has come to recognize. Animated, intense, on edge. He barked at officials, paced the sideline, and at one point engaged in a heated shouting match with his star receiver A.J. Brown. Cameras caught the moment instantly, freezing it in the public consciousness before context or explanation could catch up. To many viewers, it looked like another example of a coach losing control in the most critical moment of the season. But football games do not end on the sideline. They end at midfield, where emotions either spill over or are restrained, where frustration can turn into bitterness or be channeled into respect. That is where Sirianni told the real story of who he is. As the clock hit 0 and the 49ers completed their comeback, Sirianni made his way to Kyle Shanahan. There was no hesitation, no forced smile, no cold shoulder. The handshake was firm, direct, and sincere. And then came the words that mattered. Go, win it all. It was a simple sentence, but one loaded with meaning. In that moment, Sirianni was not a coach who had just been eliminated. He was not a man defending his reputation or managing optics. He was a competitor acknowledging another competitor's achievement and wishing him success at the highest level. That matters in a league where rivalries are intense, narratives are sharp, and postseason losses can linger for years. It would have been easy, understandable even, for Sirianni to keep it brief and emotionless. Instead, he chose grace. This contrast is what defines Sirianni more accurately than any sideline clip. He coaches with emotion because he believes emotion fuels performance. He demands accountability loudly because he believes standards matter. When he yelled at A.J. Brown earlier in the game, it wasn't personal hatred or dysfunction. It was urgency. It was a coach desperate to pull every ounce of execution from a team trying to survive January football. Those moments look ugly in isolation, but they are part of the same emotional spectrum that allows him to shake a rival's hand with humility minutes later. That handshake also reflected an understanding of the bigger picture. The Eagles are not a broken franchise. They are not spiraling. They are the defending Super Bowl champions who lost a tight playoff game to a hardened, resilient 49ers team built to win in multiple ways. Sirianni knows this. He also knows that respect between coaches is earned not by winning alone, but by how you handle losing. Shanahan and Sirianni share more than a sideline moment. Both are offensive minds. Both have endured painful playoff defeats. Both have felt the sting of being close and coming up short. When Sirianni told Shanahan to go win it all, it was not empty sportsmanship. It was recognition of shared struggle. There is also something important about what this moment communicated to players, both teams and fans. Leadership does not mean suppressing emotion. It means controlling it when it matters most. Sirianni's intensity during the game did not prevent him from showing respect after it. In fact, it made that respect more authentic. In a postseason already filled with icy handshakes, quick nods, and unresolved tension, this one stood out precisely because it wasn't dramatic. It didn't need to be. It was football stripped down to its core values: competition, respect, and perspective. The Eagles' season ended that night. The questions will come about A.J. Brown, about the offense, about whether this roster can sustain championship expectations. Sirianni will face all of them. But the image that lingers should not be of him yelling on the sideline. It should be of him standing at midfield, season over, telling the opposing coach to finish the job. That is character, not perfection, not calm at all times, but the ability to lose with dignity. And in the end, that moment said more about Nick Sirianni than any win ever could.